welcome back. This is your girl Karina. Today we're going to talk about a little bit of my childhood, and the only reason why is because I had seen one of so we're both sick. Well, let me start all over again. Just a little, I guess, recap of what's going on. I've been sick for, this is to date the 7th day. Yesterday, Jonathan started feeling sick, so he didn't go to work today. So that's that. So we're watching, well, because we're both home, we started watching Gabriel Iglesias. And if you know Gabriel Iglesias, that's, good. And if you don't know him, he's a Hispanic, a Latino comedian. He's also known by Fluffy. It's an old friend introduced me into him, and he's about to come here to my city in January 22nd, and I really wanted to go, but I never found anybody to go with me because I didn't want to go by myself. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, he's coming, and because he's coming, and I'm sad that I don't get to go. And Jonathan doesn't really know who he is, so I was like, this is the time that we're gonna watch his movies so he can know, see what kind of comedian he is. I've gotten a couple hee-hees and ha-has from Jonathan here and there through the movie. But I think he's a really good comedian. I really, really like him. I wish I would have been able to go see him. Hopefully I get to see him the next time he comes around. Or I don't know, he might be in the city that I'm visiting sometime and it's just like, fuck it, let's buy tickets to go see him, Who knows? But on this specific film that he did, he talked about a lot of, he talked about his son and his mom that reminded me about certain situations of my childhood. Like, for example, he was talking about how in one of the scenes, his son's like tripping because the school, somebody took his phone, like they stole his phone from him or whatever. Anyways, he started talking about the payphone situation, and I started laughing, and I'm like, hell yeah, like that shit, like it took me back to when I was little, and Jonathan he realized that I could relate to that part of the film a lot, and he was like, what, did you go through that? And I was like, yeah, like I remember when we were younger and my grandma was still alive, my mom would make me go with her to the payphones. Let me see. Well, if you know where I'm from and you're in my city, there's this street called Seminary, and there's a Shell in the corner of that Seminary and the freeway on 35. Well, there used to be these three, I believe it was 3 or 4 payphone posts on the corner towards Denny's by the car wash. My mom we were there every day between 6 and on, at least for an hour. That was the only way that my mom could communicate with my grandma, because my grandma is in Mexico and my mom was down here. So we didn't have a house phone. We didn't have a cell phone. That was the only way that my mom could communicate with anybody. Like, we didn't have a car, so we didn't live that far from there. I mean, for the people that grew up with me in that same little neighborhood, knew exactly where I grew up at, and it was probably 3 or 4 streets down. So it really wasn't it wasn't that far. We were there in less than 10 minutes. It was probably not even 5 minutes. It was extremely close. It wasn't that far, but we will go there every day so my mom can talk to my grandma at least for an hour every day. And I used to hate it. I was like, I don't want to be here, but my mom always made me go. I guess because, 1, I couldn't stay home by myself. 2, she didn't want to be out there by herself. But it's like, what am I supposed to do? I'm a fucking kid. But whatever. I mean, after a while, it wasn't a big deal. I wasn't tripping about it anymore. I just knew. I started, taking stuff with me. She'll let me walk around the little bushes. She'll let me take my bike so I can ride it in that church parking lot across the street. It's just, it was crazy, though, because, that was also me. My mom will take me to the library to get these books so I had something to do while I was home by myself. In his film, Gabriel Iglesias' mom took him to like a movie store, and she'll buy him or rent him a couple movies so he had something to do while she was working at night, so while he was at home. And that's crazy because my mom used to do the same thing. She always make sure like I had a movie or I had books to read. Charlie's on the table and he's over there terrorizing Jonathan's stuff. um and there was another part where he jumped to his son being older now, and well, not really being older, but like the whole cell phone situation. Oh, Charlie. His whole like the phone getting stolen, and then he turned around and looked at his dad. It's nothing to get you a phone. That hit a little close to home, personally, because of my niece. My niece is very, very spoiled by a lot of people and mainly me. Honestly, she is the first and the only girl. And sometimes she just forgets that a lot of stuff that she gets is a luxury, not a necessary. And sometimes I try to tell her, like, I didn't have a phone. We didn't have a phone. We didn't have a car. There was days where we didn't literally have nothing to eat but fucking huevos, frijoles, and tortillas. Like, y'all are out here getting fast food fast food or bought out food every day. Like, y'all don't know nothing about, all we have to eat is fucking frijoles de olla. If you don't put the frijoles de olla, then you ain't gonna have nothing to eat. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I grew up like that. That's how I grew up. I grew up with my luxury is probably getting out to eat once a day, and my mom would just buy us something from McDonald's. Like that. That's the type of thing I grew up with. We had a ride. I was in high school taking a city bus home and to school. Like we definitely grew up in different what's the word for that? Like different environments, different lifestyles, different life choices. I don't know. But I tried to tell her those words, not to make, tell her those words, tell her those, like my story and my experiences, not to make her feel shitty about her not being grateful. Because to a certain extent, I do believe she is grateful for the things that she gets because she has. Let me not go that way. We know other people that are in the same situation as her or a little bit more wealthier, and they're so materialistic, and my niece she really isn't materialistic, but sometimes she forgets and she just like, I want, and it's just like, well, girl, you can want a lot of things, but do you deserve them? And that plays out with, do you have your room clean? And then I was telling Jonathan, I'm like, my mom wouldn't even let me let people come over to my house to visit me or anything if the house wasn't clean. Like, my mom did not play that shit. My mom is very, very clean. She doesn't I don't know, like, she was very strict when it came to the house being clean and me picking up after myself. To the point that that's how I am now. Like, whenever Jonathan, he wants his friends to come over, I always tell him, bro, you better make sure the house is clean. Like, he already knows. It's gotten to the point where he already knows that whenever he tells me, oh, so-and-so is coming over, and I just be like, oh, make sure there's no dishes, or make sure you took the trash out, he'll be like, I already did it. Oh, I'm already doing it. I was like, oh, I already took the trash out. I'm already working on, like, I don't know, sweeping or something. Like, it's just like, that's just how I grew up. And now, the kids nowadays, they don't really care if their house is clean. They just be like, oh, it's a mess. You can just come over, but it's a mess. And it's just like, no, I don't know. It bothers me. That's just me. Don't get me wrong, though. There's a lot of times where I don't clean and my friends would come over and it's messy, but that's because I was going through something and they understood. I had a friend when I had gone through exactly about a year ago. I had gone through this depressing thing, and I wasn't cleaning, I wasn't cooking, I wasn't even showering. I wasn't leaving the house, and I stopped participating on group events, and I stopped answering, and eventually they started showing up to my house, and I would have to in a way clean a little bit while they were here because they were here, and eventually one of my friends came over and she literally helped me clean my house. Like, she pulled the couches from off the wall, she swept, and she put all the trash together. She helped me out a lot while I was cleaning the restroom. Jonathan was cleaning the kitchen. She did the dining room and the living room. It's like, and I got back to place, and ever since then, like I try to keep up with my place. I do get a little dirty sometimes because I be going through some mental shit, but I do try to keep up with it, and it just makes me think of like the movie or the film. It just made me think like, damn, like I really had a poor childhood, but I didn't know that because my mom never let me see that. Like, it never bothered me that all we ate was egg. It never bothered me that all we can do is just walk to the Gran Plaza back in the day town center. Like, it didn't bother me. Like, it was fun. Like, it was cool. We went to church. People picked us up to go to church and drop us off after church. I rode the school bus to elementary school. I had to walk to the school, to the bus stop. It was, like it seemed normal to me. Like, I never really thought I was poor. Like, yeah, would I get a little upset because I wanted the new fucking shoes that were out, or I wanted the new backpacks, or I wanted a different backpack? Like, yeah, I think any kid would, but I never really thought we were poor until we were like started getting older, like high school, I guess you can say. And I started realizing, like, damn, like everybody has a phone, everybody has the new Apple bottoms, everybody has the new Nikes and Tommy Hilfiger, and I'm just like, I don't have none of that. Like, I'm not wearing anything name brand. But then I found my group that pretty much was like kind of in the same situation, but not really. And they didn't care about brands and stuff. So then it's like I'm not really out here alone, and that made me feel, a little better about myself. And also, like, just started working harder for everything that I wanted. And I guess that's why I have that mindset of, if I want something, I'm going to get it, because ain't nobody else going to give it to me unless I work for it. So I feel like growing up in the way that I did makes me, in a way, just a better person for myself, because I grew up to learn how to hustle. If I want something, I'm gonna have to work my ass off to get it. Because sadly, I wasn't born in that lifestyle where I'm wealthy and I can just snap my finger. Oh, so sorry, Charlie was sniffing the microphone. Sadly, I wasn't born into that lifestyle where I can just snap my fingers and be like, I want the new shoes, and then bam, I got the new shoes. And sometimes I feel like my kiddos feel like that's what they can do, and it makes me a little sad, because I feel like if you grow up like that, you don't learn how to be tough for a world so ugly sometimes. Like, I don't, how can I explain it? Like, am I making sense, Jonathan? Okay, he says I'm making sense. But it just makes me wonder, how would I be with my kids? Because me and my sister pretty much kinda grew up around the same lifestyle, and she always said, "Oh, I'm gonna give the kids everything I never had." And to a certain extent, I want to do that with my kids. But it's just like, well, that's the reason why the kids are the way they are, because you give them everything they want and they don't work for it. Like, what happened to chores? What happened to be like, oh, if you want to go and because my kiddos still ride bikes. My kids still enjoy being outside and playing basketball. They're a lot onto their like electronics and shit and stuff like that, like every other kid. But my kiddos still enjoy riding bikes. They still like going outside and playing sports. So they still do have a little childhood in them, like from where I grew up in and stuff. It makes me think about how I'm gonna raise my kids sometimes. Like, am I gonna be as tough as them, like my mom was tough on me? Or am I gonna give in and turn out like my sister and just give them everything they want? So I think about it I think about it sometimes, and I play different scenarios. And sometimes I'm watching TV or I'm watching a video, and then I'll pause it and be like, Jonathan, if this was our kid, what would you do? And then he'll tell me how he will, of a moment of now. Obviously, we don't know until it happens. We'll handle it, and then I will tell him how I will handle it. And just go from there. But majority of like the scenarios that I make up or think of, I'm very strict, very heartless, very very hashtag tough love. And that's how my mom was, honestly. So I remember this one time we were coming home from the grocery store, and me and my sister were talking shit. We were walking, like all three of us were walking with hands full of groceries. And I don't remember what we were saying or what the argument was about, but my sister was fucking running her mouth like she doesn't to this fucking day. And then I decided to say something back. And then, if, like always, she ran and told my mom. My sister's a big ass tatty toe. That's one thing my sister will sit here and tell everybody exactly what you, not even, let me rephrase that. My sister will tell everybody everything plus some more. So she's a really big tattletale. So she turned around and told my mom what I said. So then I don't remember what I said on the call. It's just like my memory just jumped from talking shit to my sister to getting chased by my mom with a twig because of what I said to my sister. And I think that's funny because then that like, what happened to just regular ass whoopings to when our kids act a fool? Like, everybody is so against getting, like, disciplining their kids, just spanking them. I'm not telling you to physically beat them. I'm not telling you to, like, drag them and fucking beat them with cables fresh out the shower, because that's not what I'm saying. To a certain extent, I've been hit. I've been hit straight out the shower. My mom slapped shit at me a couple times when my glasses flew out my damn face to across the room. The couple times when my mom did drag me by the hair. Okay, do I believe that's discipline? No, I feel like that's a little bit more on the abuse side. If you ask me, I believe discipline. It's a well-deserved spanking, pop like in the mouth because you said a cuss word after they've been told you not to say a cuss word, or spanking the booty just because you weren't listening, or smacking the hand because we told you not to touch that. Like, I believe in that. So please, like, don't get it twisted when I say, y'all don't discipline your kids. That's what I mean by discipline. I'm not backing up, like, abuse and physically actually fighting the kid where you ball up your fist and punch your kid. I don't think that's that's acceptable. But there were so many times that, okay, so my mom that disciplined me that I think about, and I was like, bro, if I would have said something, you could have been in jail. Like, like the times that my mom, like, fucking hit me with a twig, the times that my mom, one thing I hated doing it to myself, I guess you can say, was when when my mom used to be mad at me and she had to do my hair and she was mad at me. I hate it when she had to do my hair and she was mad at me because she would yank the fuck out of my hair. Every brush, she would just like yank my hair with every brush, every tug. And I would just have to sit there and take it because if I would say something, then she would hit me on the side of my head. She would hit me on the side of my head and like hit me like it's my fault that my hair ain't coming out right. And it's just like, how is it my fault? Like, it's not my fault. And it's just stuff like that. Like, the one time, but there was a couple times where I felt like I did some shit that I felt like my mom should have hit me, but she didn't, which was the times where, like, for one example, when I finally started wearing glasses at the age of, I believe it was like 6, 7, I had bought these glasses and I felt very confident. Like, I really liked the glasses. And to this day, I remember those fucking glasses. They were straight up circle lenses. They were made out of plastic. And they were baby blue, clear baby blue. They were see-through glasses, okay? So it was like a baby blue, like the type of blue that's on the Lysol spray can, like that little blue with white clouds all over them. And those were my glasses. I loved them. I wasn't a big fan of wearing glasses, but when I found those glasses and I put them on, I liked the way that I looked with them. I liked them. I really, really liked them. My mom was just like, she did her thing, made me put on different glasses just to make sure those are the ones that I really wanted. At the end of the day, I got those. I put them on and I took them home. And the first thing that my sister did was make fun of me. She made me hate those glasses. Like, she made me hate them so bad that I went to school the next day and I didn't even wear them. Like, I struggled and they kept asking me, the teachers were like, I thought your mom said you were getting your new glasses. And I was like, oh, I don't know what happened. I didn't get them. Like, so whatever. I went home and I had to put them on because my mom was home. So then they all started making fun of me. Like, I'm talking about my mom, my sister, my aunt. They were just making fun of my glasses. And I went into my room and I started crying and I threw them away. And I literally put them in the trash, knowing damn well that the next day was trash day. And I don't know. I felt, I don't know if this is what I was thinking, but I felt like this is what I was thinking, that I was going to take them out later, that my mom was going to see them, and it would have been like, whoop de doop, it's okay, because I never went to the trash. Well, no, bitch. I fucking went to sleep. The trash was taken out, the trash was gone, and I was like, oh, fuck, my glasses are gone. Like, I don't know. I don't remember what happened next. I don't remember what happened next. So then eventually I had to tell my mom what really happened. And she just sat there and she didn't yell at me. She didn't get mad at me. She didn't hit me. And then she was just like, and this is something that I've carried on with me ever since then when it comes to my glasses. Because until this day, keep in mind, I was like 6, 7 when I first started wearing glasses. And I'm 26 now. I'll be 27 in October 3rd. And until this day, my sister always says something about my glasses. Until this day. And until this day, I say the exact same words to her that my mom said. At the end of the day, those are the glasses that you have to wear for the whole year. If you like them, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter who else likes them because they're on your face. So if you're going to spend all this money on these glasses, you better get the glasses that you want. It doesn't matter who likes them. So we went back and we got a different type of glasses, but then we had to go back like a week or two because that's when I found out that I was allergic to plastic on my face. So then now since then, all I wear is like metal glasses, frames or whatever. Okay, guys, so, I'm telling you that story or that little flashback on my childhood, little memory, whatever you want to call it, because I feel like personally nowadays, you're asking me right now, I feel like my mom should have spanked me because that's hard work money that my mom busted her ass for me just to throw it away like it was nothing. It definitely makes me understand now, like, Instead of her giving me an ass whooping, she decided to turn that into a lesson and give me an advice that was going to carry I was going to carry with me forever. Because who would have known her telling me those words were going to help me decide to pick out glasses. Because until this day, I like the glasses that I wear. I've been wearing Versace, the brand Versace for what, like 3-4 years? No, wait. Way more than that, because I've been with Jonathan 4 years. So I want to say like 6-7 years I've been wearing Versace glasses. And because I want to. Now, my sister recently started wearing glasses a couple years ago. She goes to a different place. I never once bullied her about her glasses. Putting it out there. I dare she says otherwise. Because, boy, let me tell you, okay? I've never said anything. Matter of fact, I'm the one that always pushed her to get fucking glasses because we all knew she needed glasses. As a matter of fact, I know the reason why she doesn't wear glasses, and I never bullied her about it. Like, ever bully her about it because, baby, believe me, my sister, when she wears glasses, it's fucking funny. But I never made fun of her about it. Never, because I refuse to make her feel like the way she made me feel that day because it's really shitty. It's really shitty to bully somebody about something that they have no control over. None. And and to this day, my sister makes me feel shitty when it comes to certain things like that. And I've told her, I told her how why does she would have to say something like it's not for you. And I've gotten, my comebacks have turned into, well, aren't you glad they're not yours? Aren't you glad they're not sitting on your face? Well, they're not yours. Don't worry about it. It's not your money. You didn't pay for it. Because now her issue with my glasses is not the fact that she doesn't like them. It's because they're expensive. Yes, my glasses are very expensive. My glasses, and I'm not saying this to front because I'm not, but the lenses, not the lenses, the frames themselves are like $500. My lenses are over $100. For my first. Let me put it this way: for my first Versace glasses, I paid like $800, $900. And when my sister found out, she had so many things to tell me about how stupid that purchase was, and that wasn't a great investment. Well, you know what? I wore those glasses for 4 fucking years. As a matter of fact, I still fucking have them. All I did was change the lens. I still have those glasses. They're still in great condition. No discoloration. No, actually, I'm lying. I had to change my last Versace glasses because Jonathan fucking broke them. That's the only reason why I had to change them. If not, then I would have still had them on. Like, honestly, like, that's the only reason why. Well, because Jonathan accidentally stepped on them. And that's the case. But when I went to go buy these new glasses, I've had them for what, like 2 years, I think. I've had the glasses that I have now for like 2 years. And she's always saying about how much money. And it's just like, why does it matter? Just because you got a special on your glasses, those are the glasses that you wanted. I know that I have to get new lenses, not new frames, but new lenses every year. And I know exactly how much I have to pay for my lenses. So I make sure I have that money. I have a whole year to make that happen. So in a way, sometimes to the parents that decide to not physically discipline their kids, but just sit down and talk to them, I don't think you're wrong. But I do believe that after so many times of talking and so many times as if you don't stop, I'm gonna hit you. Or if you don't stop, you're gonna go to my. I feel like that's what needs to stop. And I don't know, I might be wrong because I'm gonna get hit with, oh well, you're not a parent. Oh well, you don't have kids. Okay, all right, I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna give you that benefit of the doubt just because I don't have physical kids with me. Okay. But I did help raise my niece and nephews. I did discipline my niece and nephews. I did spank my niece and nephews. My niece and nephews do have that, if you don't stop, I'm going to hit you, mom. But they never had, oh, I'm going to hit you, aunt. I told them, if you don't stop, I'm going to hit you. The next time they did it, I hit them. They know that with me. So that's why I feel personally like talking to your kids, it's not a bad thing. If you feel like you need to talk to him and be like, this is not okay, then you should. I guess you should, you're the parent at the end of the day. But at the same time, I feel like we need to not forget about the actual discipline, about popping them once in a while when it's needed to. Sometimes I look back to the times that my mom hit me and the times that my mom just sat there and talked to me when I was acting bad. And it's just like, damn, I feel like that time she shouldn't have hit me. Or like that time it's like, damn, if she wouldn't have slapped shit at me on my high school parking lot, I probably wouldn't have gotten my shit together. You know what I mean? My mom hit me until, I think the last time my mom hit me, I was like 20. She slapped shit at me. That was my mom's power move, was she slapped shit out of us because she has really heavy hands. So believe me, whenever my mom slapped shit at you, she'll slap the shit out of you. My glasses always ended up flying. Always. Like, all the time. I don't know. I feel like that was the main thing. Okay, one time, I'm not gonna lie. One time my mom tried to fight me. She body slapped me. She was in the closet and she ran and she pushed me. And then she was like, hit me. And I was like, what? Like, like the thing is like, we weren't even fighting. Like, we weren't even arguing. She just wanted me to fight her out of nowhere. And she's just like shoving me and shoving me. And then I shoved her back to where she fell on top of the bed. And then she just looked at me like, how dare I? And I was like, stop pushing me. Like, stop trying to make me hit you. And she's like, you're not strong. Cause around that time, I started fighting like at school and stuff. So she's like, she's shoving me, trying to make me hit her to see how actually hard I hit whenever I fight. And it's so funny because we like ended up wrestling and I accidentally like I was trying to like push her back, but I accidentally ended up elbowing her in her nose. And bro, she called my grandma talking about I hit her and shit. It was, oh my god, it was an endless story. It was like, according to everybody, I hit my mom twice. That one was accident. The next time I stopped, as I was like I want to say what, like 15, 16, I stopped my mom from slapping me. Like I caught her hand mid slap and she told everybody that I hit her. I put my hands on her and I raised my hand. It's a big ass mess. There's so many stories I can tell you about my mom. So many different memories and shit that I went through. But I believe me, sometimes I do some shit now, and I'll be like, damn, my mom would have kicked my ass right now. Like whenever I and I said it to my friends. Whenever they come over and my house is dirty, I'm like, bro, if my mom was here, she would be so mad at me right now. She would have told you all to get the fuck out. Because she's done it before. But okay, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. If you haven't seen Gabriel Iglesias and you like comedy, because I love comedy, he is a Hispanic comedian, so keep in mind, majority of his things are in English, but he does throw in Spanish words here and there. There is subtitles though. Check him out. I think he's a really cool guy. Let me know if you like him, if you decide to check him out. Remember that you can communicate with me on our Instagram page. The Instagram page's name is It Be Podcast. That's how you can reach out to me to comments and DMs, as well as you'll keep posting and you'll be updated on every time a new podcast comes out. I know we've been kind of off this last month or so, but we try to keep it out at least every Monday. Bear with us with the whole trip and being sick. It's been a lot on us. Just bear with us. We'll be here. We'll try to go back to a regular schedule. So until then, take care, wear your mask, take your vitamin C, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.